happened?
Well, there's so let me just walk it back a few steps. So like the history of why women were beneficiaries, not we're not okay, like prenups is a whole different thing. Let's just talk about like women inheriting men's assets either from death, usually from death, from divorce, whatever the case is. Women up until the 1990s were not allowed to have their own credit line. So, like, there is a need for women to be introduced to what they are entitled to, their legal rights, assets, credit, because this is a relatively new concept for women to have an equal stake in marriage. So, that's point one. Point number two, I lost my train of thought because you did kind of say a lot. But if we're
Okay.
talking about why it is that she is saying, trying to tell women this and that, it's again, like, it's not because, oh, so women can get put on game because women are just so shocked that like this could happen to them too. It's because, and I saw somebody in the comments talking about most of these, like, there's so many things I want to say at once. Basically, what I'm trying to say is marriage was never just about love, and it always was about money, power, whatever you want to say. Now women have an equal stake, so we need to, like, men are going to find new ways to manipulate us, as they always tend to do. And so now it's our responsibility to be well informed about what our rights are legally to things so that we don't end up ass out. And what she had pointed out in the video, which I'll go back to, is the fact that, like, just because she, which first of all, a lot of people are saying that they made the same amount of money, so I don't even know how this situation.
They do not. Okay, they do not make the same amount of money. This man is 24 years old. Maya, she's 36. She's an actress. I don't know her to be a wealthy actress, but she is an actress. And this man is like a international, soccer player. This man was earning more than €1 million monthly. So, but they're definitely not worth the same amount. But anyways, go ahead. What you were saying.
Okay, sorry, I'm just reading the comments, and a lot of people are talking about I sound goofy,
Don't worry
this and
about the
that.
comments. Don't worry about the comments.
No, because I'm in a live, so I'm trying to use the,
Just
you know,
focus on
stuff
just focus on
into
our
other
discussion. Don't worry
people.
about the comments.
Basically, what I'm still confused about is it sounds like she would have had her own money going into this regardless. So that's kind of like what I was getting at. My overall overarching point and why I really wanted to join this live was because when I was listening, I was hearing you talk about how women are going to see this and like spew this out to men, and it's going to make men not want to get married to them, right? And that most women are going to, operate from this perspective. I want to like switch to that because I don't know enough about this whole case to speak on it, so I'm just going to decline for our
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah. Okay. That's my next question, and let's talk about it. So my next question is, do you think women using their platforms to spread messages like this to other women is going to encourage men to want to get married?
Yeah, so this is actually why I wanted to join the live. So, right as you were talking about this, I was looking up a statistic.
Hmm.
So, there is the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health. And so, I actually studied this when I was in college. So, some people were asking, like, who am I? What's my profession? So, I'm presently a teacher. I'm applying to law school. I studied sociology when I was in college. So, this stuff is actually pretty interesting to me. And so basically, the National Institute of Health, they do global studies on different sociological issues, demographics based on race, ethnicity, all that type of stuff. And so they have something that's called like the marriageability index. And it's based on education, income, whether or not you have a criminal record, all these things. And they base it on demographic. And right now they're basing it on gender. And so, from 1980 to 2010, there has been a huge decline in the relative supply of marriageable males, and it is a positive correlation with the increase of marriageable quality women. And so, the reason I bring this statistic up, there's been a lot of talk and fear mongering about what happens if men don't want to get married. But statistically, in modern times, women are far more marriageable and have far more of the qualities that would make for a successful, happy life in marriage than men do. So I'm just really confused as to like why we should be scared if men don't want us. Men are not as educated. The most educated group of people in this society right now is Black women. And so, like, they do have the upper hand and they should 100% have the right to have their pickings because they've earned it. And again, that goes along with like the person in the video that was disclosing this. Like, she has always encouraged women to like get it on their own, to be educated, like to show up as what you are desiring in a partnership, in a relationship. Like, it's not broke, dusty women that like don't have anything. And like, I feel like that's the direction you were trying to take it in. And so, like, if that's the case, like, why is that even the concern in the first place? Like, what happens if men don't want to get married? Like, they're not qualified to be in the marriages with the women that we're talking about anyway. Like,
Okay, so um okay, so one, that you that whatever source that you just used, you said it referenced from like 1980 something to 2010.
yeah, that's when they look. So it's like an index. So they measure it over time. That's the most recent statistic, but the class I took was in 2020, and like it's the statistics still being used. So I would argue that it's probably still headed in that direction. Not much has changed systemically or societally to where like those numbers are significantly increasing. Although I welcome anybody to come with like some type of counter statistic.
Well, okay, I'm not aware of that statistic, but if you're saying that you studied that in 2010, because I was gonna say it's 2023, and in college, the your whatever source you use, it has to be like within like the longest range that it could be within is in 10 years. So I don't know the accuracy of that stat that you just I don't know the accuracy of that stat that you just called out, but I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a man for a second.
Hmm.
If you knew that a woman did not want to be with you genuinely because of who you are, but she wanted to be with you because of what you have, and she had foresight of what you were able to do for her in the future because of the money and the resources that you have. Is that a woman that you would want to be with, or would you want to be with a woman that genuinely likes you and loves you for you and accepts you as you are? Like, be 100% honest.
I think that if I were a man and I were in marriage in the spirit of getting married for the right reasons, I would want to be 100% truthful and forthright about all of my assets, especially if I am somebody that has a lot of those assets, because I know that I live a certain lifestyle and I would want my partner to be clear on what the parameters of that lifestyle is. Not because, oh, like I think that that person like I'm gonna fund that person's lifestyle. I mean, if I'm a man, I'm making that decision independently of this conversation. But I think that I would give my partner that I love and adore the benefit of the doubt and understanding like marriage is about building a life together. And I don't think that there's any people are talking about answer the question. I'm telling you my answer. My answer
You're
is
not you're not answering my
all right.
question.
My answer is no. No, I wouldn't think that that means that. What was in the question that I
Okay,
would
so let
think
me
that.
let me ask the question again. So my question that you didn't answer, my question is, if you would you want to get married to a woman that genuinely loves you for who you are and accepts you for who you are, or would you want to get married to a woman that only is interested in getting married to you because of what your financial status is, because of what resources you have, and because of what she in her head thinks you're able to do for her right now
Hold
and
up, bro.
going
Hold up, hold up,
forward
hold
in the
up. I
future?
got, hold up, bro.